Everyone, and welcome to Crypto Angles podcast number 23. 2 3 equals 5. 5 is connection and change. Change is happening, people. But welcome. For those who are new, my name is Kelita Sahliah. I am a mother and I also dabble in crypto. So that's me, and I combine astronomy and astrology together. So I use the actual visible sky to interpret my astrology, and I link it to how it could be impacting crypto. Obviously, I am not a financial advisor and I am not giving financial advice. I simply fell in love with the sky and decoding particular things, and then I noticed a correlation. So, welcome. For those again who don't know, I also go over Gematria, and I have a lot to cover today. So the order of the video will be we're going to touch on Gematria with Trump's arrest. Then we'll move on to the astrological story, what's happening in September. And then we'll touch on the technical analysis for Bitcoin, XRP, and the DXY. And depending how we go in, we may touch on one more coin, or maybe them two coins, because I've got a lot to share. I'll pick up on them too next week. So, also, if you would like this calendar, it is available on Etsy, so feel free to grab that. It's in alignment with the visible sky, and stay tuned for the next year's one as well. And I also offer personal birth chart readings, and there is an example that I've done for XRP. If you are interested in that, reach out to me. Any information is in the description box below, but let's get into this week's podcast. So, coming onto my threads, like I said, feel free to follow me on Instagram threads. Yeah, feel free to follow me. But we're looking at, this is my profile. I'm not logged in at the moment, but we're looking at Trump and his arrest. So we're looking at different titles. We're going to look at different titles to find out like different numerical values. So Gematria, for those people who don't know, is kind of like how you can weigh and measure consciousness, or in other words, it will show you the vibrational frequency or the relationship these events have to each other, because we live in a whole holographic simulation. When one event kicks off, it creates like a chain reaction type of thing, and there's certain things that are on that similar frequency. That's how I see it anyway. That's how I see it. So let's get into it anyway. Look at this guy. I had no idea he was arrested, by the way, until I started watching Jordan's video, his Red Pill podcast. I was like, oh wow, he does that on his Patreon, Waters Above. And I didn't know, and I've not even finished watching that video. I wanted to just make sure this video was done so I can finish watching that video and watch his next one out today. But Waters Above Jordan, he's going to be one you want to watch, follow along, subscribe to his Patreon, because he's saying the most. But anyway, we're looking at Donald Trump arrested. There's going to be different variations. There's different variations of this. This is the first one we're looking at. In Hebrew, 954. Obviously, it's linked to the Dow. Now, it doesn't say Dow Jones, but we can read in between the lines, 954. And Beetlejuice, the reason that's there, because I also want to show you, like, link this into your real life as well, when trying to use Gematria, because this year I was saying I would like my safe word, if you know, I'd like my safe word to be Beetlejuice, because it's just so different. It's not like no or stop, it's Beetlejuice. That's just clear. So I was saying that, so that kind of got to me. I was like, oh, I'm on the right frequency. And then obviously got Son of David. I just find that interesting because there's a lot of biblical references that's going to be coming up. Last Phoenix Star with this happening, the 954 again. Oh, 954. What do we have here? XRP, the gold standard. Like, because as well as these like relationships to each other, these chain reactions, I see this is how the elite communicate using Gematria, or it's one of their ways and methods to communicate, because many people don't know about it. They signal things on the world stage, and then those who know how to read it will be like, oh, okay. And they're calm, they're living their life, they're calm because they know what to do, because it's been signaled, because they don't lie, they tell you the truth, they tell you, eat my shorts. It just made me think of the Simpsons. The Simpsons do the most. They do the most. Is there an episode about Trump's arrest in the Simpsons? It's literally not going to surprise me if it is. Is there? Someone let me know. Isis, Horus, and Osiris. I found this interesting because this is just time, hours, time, the mythology. So again, I'm really just looking forward to what Jordan Waters Above comes up with all of this, because yeah, it's just fascinating. Now ignore this middle one here, Francinto. Like, I don't know there, but I just didn't want to screenshot it. It was kind of long, and it's not showing this bottom one on my recording. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, you can see that now, non-disclosure agreement. It just wasn't showing it in the recording screen. But what I wanted to point out was non-disclosure agreement, whatever. If anyone thinks of something of that, mountains and hills singing, I just find that interesting because it's just more like biblical references again. Moving along, like things are moving. But the matrix proteins, this is what I find very interesting. I've already done a video, I just need to edit and bring it out, but it's Truth in Plain Sight about Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Now, if you've watched that movie, if you haven't, sorry, spoiler alert, but what was making the mutants, what was making them angry was the overexposure of the proteins, and that's what the raccoon said. So I just find it interesting that how Trump's been arrested, and this protein thing, obviously the matrix protein, is coming up because we've been told like, oh, you must have protein, but could the protein be the thing that's like making people angry? I don't know. I don't know, but it's an interesting connection. And then moving further down, we're looking at, no, don't go back. Oh, sorry, bear with me. It came off. So let me just click back on this. Do follow me on Threads though, people. My laptop is doing its best as well. It's optimizing, so it's like not the best right now, to be fair. So let's just click on these. Is this too big? But we're looking at just ordinal now, but pay attention to the other numbers. If any numbers stick out for you and it's still this phrase, it's going to be a long one, people, so just bear with me. We've got time is running out. Take this as you will, of course. Project Looking Glass. What is this? I know of it, but it's just not hot on my head right now, so I do have to research more of what it is. We've got, it will be done quickly. What's going to be done quickly? What's happening? Divine intervention. And this is where it's like, I do subscribe to the notion of this is just organic code playing itself out. Like, the elite, they're not really like, oh, I'm evil, I'm doing it. It's just a story, basically. The phoenix is rising, a lot about the phoenix stuff, and I find it so fascinating. You've got the 111, powerful in Chaldean. You've got the 6 and the 9, and reverse reduction, you've got the 9 and the 6. So this is just powerful in itself, because 6 is the material, 9 is the spiritual, and 3 is the coil that connects the two of them together. That's why you've heard of 369 is our whole reality, and then this is obviously the opposite way around. So signals are happening, big things are going on. Great Awakening report. Yep, check that. Is this a report? Like, this is like, was him being arrested, was that a signal to be like, okay, this is where we're at now? Because that's kind of how it goes. We better get going fast. Does someone know their time is running out? The Venus frequency. Pay attention to this one, because we're going to come back to this. The Venus frequency. And in reverse, 231. Them numbers like 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. Anyway, Venus, just remember Venus. We've got a date, April 29th. April 29th. So I am in preparation of doing my next year's calendar, so I am looking at them dates, because a lot about April, March, April has come up. So stay in tune for that. We do have it continued April 27th as well, and like usually things happen between 3 to 2 days, so I'm like, oh, we've got April 27th, April 29th, so just pay attention to them dates. Like I'm literally going to write them down and just keep a note. Enoch, Elijah appear on earth again. There was a lot of biblical references. It literally got the 1, 2, 3, 120, 420. Oh, I just find this interesting because if you subscribe to the notion of religion, we were taught like Elijah's spirit was to come back at some point. So this is fascinating, and especially last week we had the 155 with Jesus's arrival and aliens' arrival as well. So interesting. Route 66. Pay attention to the number 66 too. This come up and I found it interesting because I just know that that's a thing, but I don't know what it's about, like this 66 thing, and it's come up before. And again, we've got reverse 1, 2, 3. So remember 66. We had 1, 2, 3. But remember the 66. Where was the other one? Oh, it was the Venus frequency. The Venus had 66 as well, but it was in the other one. Your time is finished. Oh, we got 66. You see what I'm saying? So something is definitely ending. Access to stargates 66. Chaldean, it's 69, as I says. So below as above. 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 66. I don't know if you notice as well, or I don't know if you're on TikTok, but there was a little girl. The video went viral, it had many millions of views, but her recent ones not so much. But she said that this 11th Stargate is opening soon. It should have opened now. It should have opened, and she just says people would be more kinder. That's basically what she says. She was like 7, but she just says that just out of the blue, like, yeah, you know. So I find it interesting that obviously his arrest is linked to his Stargates is coming up, as well as this Route 66. We're getting 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, as below, so above. Yeah, I'd really love someone to. Oh, I've done that twice. Like, see ya. Again, this is why I'm also saying we've got the 2, 3, 1. We've got that 9, 6. During this time, I highly recommend just going to his channel, watching his videos. I highly also recommend subscribing to at least his standard his standard Patreon membership. So it's only, is it $9 a month? I think I highly recommend. Like, I recommend even more, but that at minimum round about this time, because last week we had Decode financial crash. Now this guy, like, honestly, no cap, the moment I finish this video, I'm going to learn from him. So with the codes that is coming up, I'm seeing now, it's like, yeah, something's changing, something's happening. Make sure your plan's in order and know what is happening. Know your plan. I'm touching up on like my exit, like I'm just doing all of that, but I do highly recommend just checking out his channel. I do. Okay, moving on to, instead of Donald Trump arrested now, it's just Trump arrested, because we learn more things. We get the 178. Now, we did get this on my first ever decode I did with the Titan Sumber slide, or Titan Submarine. It come up, we had this number, and it was like an emergency broadcast. So that's why I was like, whoa, so that is going to come up again, emergency broadcast. But as you can see, the clock is ticking, and Chaldean, the clock is ticking, 5 change. 5 equals 10. 10, we've got 10 here, which is the binary code. The clock is ticking, times are changing. October 30, so another date has come up. I'm going to take note to these dates. I'm going to look in my calendar and just keep a note of just what's happening, what could be happening. And when I listen to Waters Above as well, I'm like, okay, winter is coming. I just thought of Game of Thrones when I saw that. I was like, okay, I feel changes happening during the winter, like autumn, winter. It's like, oh, like when we look back in history, 2023 is going to be the year where we look back and say, oh, this is where it changed, this is where it started. And next week I've got the new continent to decode, so stay tuned for that. But here comes the sun, Ark of the Covenant. Go and watch Logan at Decode Your Reality. Go and watch his latest video, and I will put it in this description, and I'm going to put Waters Above links in this video description as well. But go and check out his last video, because he broke it down so amazing, that how Saturn is linked to the Akash. And it's just so interesting, because I'm not going to show it but because if you don't know my Instagram presence, I'm a little bit different over there. But I have been doing like cosplay of Saturn and time, and I just find it interesting. I've been naturally drawn to this luminary. Someone gave me a free reading and they were like, you're a Saturn. I'm like, what? I didn't know. But anyway, he links in his recent video. Oh, I'm going to link it, I can't remember the exact title. He made it clear you got like the two eyes in the sky, which are equal in size, the sun and the moon, kind of like being controlled by Saturn. And it's kind of like in the sky, the Ark of the Covenant is the sun and the moon. It's the two eyes in the sky. So it's just wild. And the connection to Saturn and time, especially because we're getting a lot of time is running out. Yeah. But go check out that video. A divine frequency, again, this is why I do subscribe to the notion that it's just code playing itself out. That's all it is. Oh, positive blood. This was a thing at some point. Like, take that as you wish. And then we've got that emergency broadcast again. So Trump's arrest, it was an emergency broadcast. So it's like numbers I'd like you to remember. 178. If that pops up in your reality, just remember it. And yes, remember that number. I'm going to keep note of that one. 178. Flood of the world. Something, it's like something's coming in. Something. Got the 8 and the 0 for Chaldean for flood of the world as well. So it continues. Twin flame arrow. Twin flames, it depends on your point of view, but I'm seeing we've got the 5-5 again. Change, connection and change. But I'm seeing, if you subscribe to like, oh, twin flames outside of yourself, you can do that. But I like to look at it in your head, left and right hemisphere of the brain. It's basically syncing together. I'm feeling at this time now, we are chemically trusting ourselves more. That's what I'm seeing, and I feel maybe this chemical trust will bring this precision arrow and actually connect you to someone who will help you level up. I don't know. But we've got time coming up again, a month to go yet. So where are we now? What's the date? It is September the 3rd. Gosh, it's the 3rd of September. Wow. A month to go yet. And we had October come up too. So, I don't know, people. Pay attention. Repairing Venus. You see, we had Venus frequency, repairing Venus. We're not done with Venus. We're getting back to Venus, okay? Remember Venus. But 178 has a lot to do with this Venus frequency. A whole new world is coming true from this. Robert Kiyosaki, that just made it, you know, if he just pops up more around about this time, like I'm, you know, just talking about his thing, and, you know, don't be surprised. And the Bible is truth. Now, I had loads of videos on this, and I've said like, oh yeah, it's truth mixed with a whole heap of shit, basically. However, that's still true, but there's truth in there. There really is, because it's code, and it's coded very well. It's a very well written story and book. Yeah, so Bible is truth. Queen of Pentacles. This is what I would like you to remember with Venus. Is there any more? Titanic submarine. Told you there's Titanic. Divine intelligence. As I says, this is just code playing out itself. And I find it interesting. Trump's arrest and Trump winning is in the same cipher. But before we move on, Queen of Pentacles. This whole thing is Queen of Pentacles energy. Okay, let's have a read of Queen of Pentacles. So it's nurturing, practical, providing financially, a working parent. It's just Queen of Pentacles energy, so we don't need it in reverse. So the Queen of Pentacles is a woman who sits on a throne decorated with carvings of fruit trees, goats, angels, and other symbols of material success and sensual pleasure. She cradles a gold coin with both her hands and looks down on it with loving care. So it's like a nurturing symbol of wealth and material success. Plants represent the connection to Mother Earth, nature, earth, abundance, and a small rabbit jumps near where she is seated, symbolizing fertility and suggesting that her life is now is in flow and alignment. The rabbit. We are in the year of the rabbit. This is no coincidence. None at all. I want to show you something else with the Queen of Pentacles. The planets for the Queen of Pentacles. Here's some more keywords if you'd like. It's related to Libra and Taurus, and they're fueled by Venus. Venus. Taurus is the toroidal field. It's the material realm. So this is Queen of Pentacles energy. There's change happening in the material realm. Libra is, I've already said it, it's an amazing manifester. It's bringing what's from the head, the ether, bringing it out into the plane of existence, weighing it, scaling it to create that balance. It's like, okay, a thought is now being weighed. It's like, how is it going to balance in reality? Fueled by Venus being earth, so it's the material. Pay attention to the numbers. 66. You know, cooperation, because it is that working, nurturing. But 66 breaks down to 12, breaks down to 3. 3 is a new energetic frequency. 3 is creation. It can be destructive in nature because it's creating a new frequency. 3 is the coil, the energy travels along. Okay, so that is number 3, 12, 66. Like, is Queen of Energy, Pentacles. So that's why it's like, though this is happening and though I'm explaining it this way, don't think that this also isn't impacting your life. This is the general energy that's been put out on the stage, and it's Queen of Pentacles energy coming in. So that's telling me literally in your life from this point, this was a signal. Of course, only if you've planted seeds, but abundance, prosperity is like you've now got the financial wealth, or it's coming in to truly take care of what you're about in the year of the rabbit. Okay, that is so important, the year of the rabbit. So we also have with Trump arrested, we've got decode northwest. Now we do have the as below, so above. I don't know if that is literally north to west or northwest, the child, like Kanye's daughter. I really don't care about celebrities like that, so I don't, like, I've recently, even say recent, I do, there's a, yeah, if I'm not interested, I just can't do it. So if anyone is interested in celebrities, it will be interesting to know what comes up with this little girl with a yeah. And then with the Hebrew version, we've got 835, which brings us Daniel's prophecy 835 and hourglass not done. So it's time again. We've got time. Was there another one? No. Hourglass not done, so it's like the time, it's almost done, it's coming to the end, but it's just not done yet. So that's interesting. But Daniel's prophecy, do you know about Daniel's prophecy? Daniel, I wish I had a picture of this ready, but I don't. But Daniel had that, was the dream of the statue, and you had gold, you had silver, bronze, copper, and then you had a mixture of iron and clay. So if you know about that story, it's like, we're, even if you look at the zodiac wheel, we're going into Aquarius. It's like going into that golden age again. So moving from the clay, the feet, back to the head. So I found that interesting, and it's just like all of these links. There was a reason I was a Seventh-day Adventist, so I can pick up these things, you get me? But moving now on to, instead of Trump arrested, it's Trump's arrest, okay? Giving us 188. So in ordinal, I find it interesting. Chaldean is 44, which gets to 8. Fascinating. Putin, I don't want to say it, November. We were getting some November dates, October dates, and April dates. So I don't know. I don't know, because again, with the Titan submarine, I actually saw, I don't know if I'd put it in my video, but I did see where it said Trump's arrest. I was like, oh, but I was like, he's not been arrested though. And it happened later. So I'm kind of just trusting what I see now. You get me? Restore the wicked, as I said, it's code, organic code, just playing itself out. So these things aren't just, oh, it's just a global elite, just no, it's code playing itself out on both spectrums. So this is why change is happening. The singularity, let's go through the rest of them, then we'll get back to that. China will, will that happen? I don't know. I don't know, but if it does happen, I guess you heard it here first. Like, whoa, rise from the ashes. I guess there has to be chaos. We all know. It's like we know something is coming. Could it be this? Could it be? Fire worshippers. The love of a lifetime. Follow the money. Show me the money. So I find that interesting. Show me the money, follow the money, the love of a lifetime. I mentioned about twin flames. I feel it's, even if it's not like a person, it's like yourself, or it's loving life again, is actually coming through energetically on this time. And I know we're linking things to crypto, but I feel all of this is kind of saying crypto's one avenue, but you know, we've got fire worshippers. I find it interesting because we're getting a lot of the phoenix rising. And there's another fire element as well. Raised from the ashes. It's all that burning. Fire worshippers. What happened to Maui? You know, the other day. What happened? And the singularity. So, this singularity net. That's the first thing that came up. This is part of my portfolio. I'm not going to lie. It is. I'll be transparent with that. Yeah, it's part of my portfolio, and not only was I linked to this code through Beetlejuice because I was talking about it in my own life, and then it's come up, but I'm linked to it in another way, and I'll show you. So that's the singularity. So I'll let you know there if anyone's like interested in that. We've got another time coming up, spring equinox. So that's obviously coming end of that's March 2024. On the 20th, the spring equinox is. Like I said, we're getting March, April dates. What's happening around about this time? Is it a turning point? Because usually sometimes Q4 is high for crypto, and like Q1, not so much. But I don't know. I'm not seeing Q1 high, more so Q2. Crown of Thorns, just another biblical connection. I thought I'd throw that in there. November 12th. November's coming up again. Had Putin. What's happening? Even if it's not Putin, what's his name's birthday? What's his name? The president. Who's the president of United? He's gone out of my head. It's just not that. He was fighting Biden. Biden's birthday is in November. Will he last past his birthday? I don't know. We'll see. The freedom to love. Like I says, like, love is high. Love is high. The future is here already, and we're getting 66 again. Linking to Venus, linking to the Queen of Pentacles, the future, moment of truth. And it's not a surprise his name, that happening, is linked to that, because he talks about that a lot. Obviously it's high level global elite doing this. And currency standard. We also had XRP earlier. 188 continues, almost finished, people. This is what I had to add. 188, female from Birmingham. I am a Brummie. Not Birmingham, Alabama. It's not that one. It's the UK, and it's like, there's no coincidences that I'm just naturally drawn to it and I'm talking about it. No coincidences. Ancient twin flames. Maybe. I don't know where my twin there, though. I don't know where I'm there. This one. So, I'm getting a Shiba Inu. Coming up again with 5/5 change, binary code, etc. So I don't know. I know Shiba is a meme coin, but I feel it's going to be about. So this will be one of them. The video's getting long, so I won't be covering that chart this week, but I'll cover it next week, okay? Especially as we go over the new continent that's been found. And all of this is happening, no coincidence, when? The year of the rabbit. How is Trump's arrest, or what was it? Arrest, whatever. One of the iterations of the title, the year of the rabbit. How are we having Queen of Pentacles, the rabbit? It's Queen of Pentacles energy. Okay. More came up. This was a Hebrew one for the same title of Trump's arrest or something, but solar plexus. So I'm seeing a lot of this solar plexus energy coming through, and I feel like solar plexus is linked to more manifesting, like, yeah. And then alien contact and abductions, like if that happens, don't be surprised. Advanced global agenda. This is Hebrew, bear in mind. The last seconds before the end. Time again. Time. Saturn. Time. Lyran starseed. My Lyrans, where you at? No more player one and Phoenix explode. Fire worship, fire elements. No more player one. It just reminded me of that movie. Are we changing that timeline? Did they want that timeline to be in effect of it being like that player one game, the card movie? Has that changed? Is this why it was an emergency broadcast? And then this is the last one. Yeah, continuing this 961. Trump's arrest. Billions and billions of dollars hidden. Okay. And the last thing, staircase energy from the realm of pure fire. Fire worship, Phoenix rising, staircase energy. Like it's saying it's going up. This is staircase energy, Queen of Pentacles. Like, that's what I'm seeing there. Do let me know if any of that made you just go like, what? Nani? Like, you know, something so. But yeah, it blew my mind anyway. And I will go over the new continent next week. Like, it would have been too much. Next week we'll go over the new continent. So let's now get into the astrological story of what is happening. So, okay. Right, September. We have this week, Venus is stationing direct today. Stationing direct today. So if you want to know more of this link to life, go check my Thursday video. It's a long one, but it's a good one on how this could be impacting. Yes, darling? You can in a bit. So Venus stationing direct with Jupiter stationing retrograde. We have this shift in energy, and then Mercury touching into SEXTANS while it's retrograding. As it's retrograding, it's just making a different circuit, but it's still going backwards. And it's as it's going backwards, it's touching into SEXTANS. So, okay, darling. So I'll explain SEXTANS in a bit, but with Venus and Jupiter, Venus, because it does cover the material, so that is money as well, and that of course is our main focus, and it's moving forward now. So there may be just some more forward movements in that, but how that could look in the crypto market and price action is, in order for it to move forward, it may need to reach some lows. Someone also asked me, I did reply in my last week's video, but I've got time today to actually reply to my YouTube comments. So in terms of how they expect price to be, oh, go on, take it out then, sorry darling. How they expect price to be during Mercury retrograde, how they expect price to be. So with kind of what I'm seeing, I was thinking maybe like temporary relief during it, but possibly still ending low. But it's kind of like what I'm seeing now is more lows, to be honest with you. There may be more lows and maybe an abrupt recovery. Yes, I already have one, darling, so I'll have mine later. I'm seeing more of like an abrupt recovery, possibly after Mercury retrograde, because as you can see, it stations direct here. It stations direct here, and there is still that 2-week shadow period, but I'm leaning more towards that. Like, maybe there may be an abrupt recovery kind of just after the retrograde, followed by a correction, and this is just it finishing off its structural lows potentially to make its next leg up going into the new year. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. And Jupiter as that stations retrograde, sorry, my daughter's just opening something. So as Jupiter stations retrograde, as I said, retrogrades offer a going over, a redo, kind of just like if it hasn't been done, it's the opportunity to get it done, to complete it, for progression to continue. So it's like if it doesn't continue in the retrograde, you're setting it up so it can continue, or it just happens during a retrograde. So they are that is a retrograde, and Jupiter is just known as the planet of expansion and just expanding. So this is why I'm also seeing like it's classed as the luminary or planet of luck, but really all it does is expand. That's it. It just expands. So it will expand you in a positive way or expand you in a negative way. So because it is just expanding, and I'm seeing there's still Mercury retrograde, we had that full moon in August just here, this Aquarius full moon, and is definitely finding its bottom. It's definitely finding its bottom. We are still in the full moon energy. It happened then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are still in the full moon energy, so it could just still be trying to find its bottom, to be honest. But because it does, Jupiter just literally expands, it could expand price in a way where it's just filling out its bottoms, basically. And Jupiter is in it's in Aries, so it's kind of like first house expansion, money wise, first house expansion in your life. You could be getting a glow up transformation. You could literally be working on yourself, changing your appearance in life. But I'll mention that in my other video. But I'm seeing like expansion more to the downside, to be honest. With Mercury moving back into moving into SEXTANS on its retrograde, and we do have this flip and switch in energy where price will want to, as it comes up to here, it wants to find its new resistance. So it depends on how low it bottoms to how high this next level of resistance is, or it could, like, the level of resistance could make a lower high. It could make a lower high, which would be an indication for more downward movement. So it's like at this point, with Mercury and retrograding ending next week, yeah, I feel it's just downward movement personally, but we'll see. We shall see. Now, SEXTANS, Mercury is the money mover. It is the money, basically. Mercury fuels any type of energetic exchange, communication, thought, money, whether that's coins, paper IOUs, digital CBDCs, or cryptocurrency. This is Mercury. So Mercury, it's going backwards for one, so it is rethinking. It's like, and SEXTANS is known as a star constellation that was a tool used to measure the location of the stars. So that is SEXTANS. So in essence, I see as we being the stars of our own show. It's like we are wandering our place, if you know what I mean. Your thoughts, even your thoughts and how you exchange your energy, may be about just like, where am I? Whether that's where am I to a person, where am I in the collective, etc., etc. So I feel when it comes to money at this time, people are just going to be thinking, gosh, where am I? What am I doing? Like, where am I meant to be? What am I doing? So for that reason, there may just be lows. because people are just thinking even more, what's going on? Just what's going on. Do you go on then, darling? Go on, lovely. Yes. Oh, is he? Oh, okay. And then we have Mercury. So Mercury is going into Leo here, and then it stations direct. So it's like, after thinking, contemplating our place, oh, what's happening? We're then ready to move more boldly. So this is why it's just like there could be, if all of this is just downward momentum in the market, and we'll check that out on the TA very soon. It's like after this Mercury retrograde, it's in Virgo. Yeah, it's like after we may see upward movement. I don't know. We'll see as the week goes on. But just moving a bit more confidently and a bit more boldly. So that's kind of what I'm seeing there. So let's quickly move on to, well done, Leafia. Let's quickly move on to Bitcoin now. My daughter's doing amazing, so I don't want to keep her waiting too long. she's doing amazing, like not distracting me so much. So BTC, I've just cleared the chart because there's pure drawing, but as you can kind of see, price literally, it was following, this is Mercury and Pluto, and this is Uranus, and this is the 200 moving average. So these are like my best friends, like it shows me so much. So price was just hovering, finding that support on there till it obviously bounced off it. It broke below the 200 moving average. It's like got rejected off Uranus just nicely, broke below the 200 moving average, and it then got rejected off it quite clearly. And it's like, if you just look at that, it seems as if price wants to just come to find support on there. But we don't know. Looking at the RSI of obviously Bitcoin, it's seeming, oops, there we go, is that done? It's seeming kind of like it's pointing up, it's ready to make its move up, or it could get rejected off this level, the 40. It could get rejected off that level to be pushed down again. Please, sweetheart, that's heavy, darling, don't touch that. Okay. So moving on to the 4 hour, just to get, I'll probably put my, are you okay? Let me get it for you. Hold on. There you go. So moving on to the 4 hour, we can clearly see that price has just got rejected nicely off this zone. And I just feel we're just going down. Like, it's moving in a different way. It's moving in a different way from this is a bit noisy. You can use it out there, yeah? It's moving in a different way than what I thought. It's like earlier on it was moving slower, but it's like it's moving quicker now, because I feel like it's just getting ready to do what it needs to do. So it needs to finish off this structural support. It is at a strong level, but you can clearly tell just been rejected, and it just seems like it wants to go lower. This will confirm obviously when we look at the DXY, but also, did you see that on the 4 hours? I'm so hungry. I ain't even had breakfast yet. I feel like Ralph Smart. I've not watched him in years, but I still see him pop up. Yeah, it just like looks like on the 4 hour it could get rejected off that level again where it's at. The 1 hour, potentially a little room to the upside could happen to then get rejected. I'm seeing downward movement, people. Like if we go up to 26k, and if we don't, it could get rejected off any of these levels. Like literally 28 is looking more likely for a continuation. So it's like if it doesn't do that, we'd want to see a higher move higher than that. But what it's done, it created a lower high and then it made a lower low. So it's like price could easily get rejected off this 26.2 from the 200 moving average off the hour, and that could push it down, especially as these kind of come closer. Do we need to go any lower? Most likely not. Yeah, on the 30 minutes, it's like these crossing in the next couple hours, these crossing, I feel that's what will just send this down to a next leg. We're closer to the it's not overbought, but you know it's higher, so there's definitely room to the downside. We'll do 15 minutes. I like to just zoom in and zoom out. Okay, so on the 15-minute, it is being supported by the 200, and that's why it says, was it on the hourly? Oh, that's why it says on the hourly, we could have just a little movement up to 26, which we may get rejected off by Uranus and Mercury and Pluto. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing there. I thought I'd just get rid of my drawing because it's just not. As you can clearly see, it's already on a level, and it's actually underneath it. So just that alone, let's not hide it. Let's put it there. And that's one level I've not actually drawn. It's like a new level that it's under. Shall I move this? Yeah, it's like it's just hovering at a new level right now, and I feel it's kind of like a weak level, and it just wants to go down. 24k just wouldn't be a surprise. 24k, and if it tries to go back up, it's just kind of getting rejected off here. But yeah, if it gets rejected and it can't hold, 24.4 would like be my next downward target. That's kind of what I'd see, and I feel like by then this may start to kind of curve, and it's kind of like price would find its support on it. Yeah, potentially. We'll see. Or has it maxed out going down? We'll see. Let's move on to XRP. XRP's in there, here's it. Right. This is fascinating. I'm going to remove all the drawings. Because this is fascinating, because Bitcoin was rejected off this, wasn't it? I just looked at it. Hiya, darling. Bitcoin was rejected off this, but it's like XRP hasn't been. It's like it's trying to fight it. It's trying to fight it, though. I don't know. It looks like it's almost maxed out on the RSI. Like on the daily, it's looking like it's got a little bit more room to go up. But it's underneath it, so that could easily just push it down. And as you can see, 44 just looks like a nice level for XRP. I think that's what it will be. If I put the drawings on, if I draw a line, all the drawings will come back. But if you see the dotted lines, where I put the drawings on after, but the dotted line, this just looks like a solid zone. Just go left with me. We got a touch point here, here, here-ish. This whole trading area, and then here as well. So yes, and of course if Bitcoin goes down to 24, it wouldn't surprise me if this just has a nice wick to 44. Like it's going down. Yeah, it's going down. This is going down. Yeah, and I just don't know. We'll have to see like next week if there's like, after the retrograde that ends here, See, we could get our lows 15th of September. We could get our lows in to find its support off Mercury and Pluto. As you've seen, it's been rejected nicely off Uranus, pushed down. I feel XRP will be rejected off the 200 moving average. Find support around here, 15th of September. And that's when we could just get like relief. That's like the relief after. Yeah, that's the relief after. And it could just do that and then go down again. I don't know. We'll see as it goes. I'm not the best at like longer term analysis. I'm still learning that from my mentor, which I'll be doing some studying today because I need to. I need to, yeah. Right, looking on the 4 hour, it's looking like it's about to be rejected off this area on the RSI, with the 200 crossing Mercury and Pluto, and soon it's going to cross Uranus, and soon even Mercury, Pluto and Uranus will cross that. I feel will push it lower. Like I don't know where XRP is going. Yeah, 44 back to here. And it wouldn't surprise me. Sometimes it likes to do that. It likes to literally retest exactly where it broke out from and probably wick a bit lower because it's just done this thing. That's what XRP likes to do. So yeah, that's just looking downward, to be honest. This Mercury is looking like a -1. Again, I'm seeing potential like a little upward movement, but just to be rejected. This is the hour time frame to be rejected off the 200. And if it goes up above it, there's more rejections it could have. Like you see how it's like here, it hovers, and then it just can't, it collapses. That could be the next thing. This could be essentially our last drop down to here. You know, because XRP, I notice it drops in like sequences. So, yes, it could be our next drop down. And didn't it wick? I'm going to take a look at, we'll change it to the candles after the smaller time frames, but I'm sure it wicked to 40. It wicked really low. Was it even 43? So that then it could, oh, not just yet. Take that to Kyle. Take that to him because I'm working, darling. It wicked to, I'm sure, 43. It wicked to 43, so it may want to fill out that wick, if you know what I'm saying. It's the hour. Let's look on the 30-minute. Oh, I'm hungry now. I'm hungry. Yeah. This 200 moving average could just push that down nicely on the 30 minutes. And as I says, it's close to the higher end of the RSI. So it's like more downward movement. Okay. Yeah, so even if it does move up temporarily, I'm just seeing, especially if it can't get past 51, 52. If XRP can't get past 52 and stay there, it's going down. It's at 50 right now. And 51 even seems like a struggle for it. But if it reaches 51, if we happen to like, oh, there's a little push up. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing. I'm moving back to, let's go to the daily. Let's go to the daily, and I'm going to change it to candles, and then we'll move on to the DXY. But I just want to see this. Ah, look at that. You see, you see that wick. That wick. We were here. We broke out of here. It's wicked down to here, and I feel its only objective is to fill out that wick. So I'm seeing 34 in the cards. No, 43, even as low as 41. That's what I'm seeing. And this is still bullish, would you say, in terms of the long run, because it still created a higher low. So even if it goes there, it's still okay. It's higher than these positions. So keep that in mind for XRP. I do want to have a quick look at the lines. What does that level up to? Yeah, because this was the last peak top. It could well just go back to that point. It really could. This whole area, let me extend that like that. And let's move this across. Yeah, this is the end of Mercury retrograde here. So price essentially could go low to this point by the 14th of September. Just down, down, down. And when's the new moon? Oh gosh. And then the new moon comes in. So it's kind of like the new moon comes in here, isn't it? The same day as Mercury stationing direct. So we'll see how that responds. So this is why it's like maybe after Mercury stations direct, it comes here and it gets pulled up quite quickly, leaving us like the whole Mercury retrograde was negative and then relief afterwards, and then another low. Like that could then, it could bring us up, could even bring us to here and then bring us back to 50. And 50 may be standard level like during the winter. Like yeah, 50, 43, 50. That's kind of what I'm seeing. So if these prices reach, they're just good buying opportunities. And moving on to the DXY. Oh, I'm hoping you can hear my voice more than the fan of this. Oh, okay. So the DXY, I'm going to just hide it for a moment, the drawings, and I just like it line at first, unless I'm seeing wicks. I just need to see the line, like it's easier. So where it's at right now, I can clearly see it's at some level of resistance. So that's some level of resistance, but look how price kind of hit it, it retested, it's being supported now, though it fell through the Mercury and Pluto, got supported by Uranus, then just like it's being supported by it, and look how it touched here and supported nicely off the 200 moving average. So this is telling me the dollar's moving up. Like, even though it's as high can be, it's probably going to just pop higher and actually become oversold on the RSI. Obviously its next target is 105. Yes, 105 is clearly its next target from 104. So I'm seeing that that's where it is, that's where it's going. If this is going up, this confirms to me that Bitcoin, XRP and the crypto market essentially is making its leg down for this next the rest of Mercury retrograde. Yes, so that's just confirmed it to me. I don't even feel we need to move much higher, much more than this. We'll just take a look at the 4 hour, but I'm just seeing upward movement with the DXY. So if the dollar's going up, gold may be going down, the pound may be going down, crypto's going down, if the dollar's going up. And yeah, look, it's just like on the 4 hour, these are getting ready to cross. So it's like this cross alone will just send this to become overextended. It's clearly over. It's like it's over, you know what I'm saying? But I guess it's being pushed a little more. So that's what I'm seeing with that anyway, people. I hope this makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know. If it does, I'd like feedback. That would be amazing. But yeah, that's all I'm seeing. If anything in this video at all made you just go, oh wow, and just drop an emoji of a mushroom or your favorite emoji or something. Do give it a like if you feel it would help someone, because that would help the algorithm. And and I'm feeling super tired and super sleepy, so let me just finish it here, and I'm hungry. So thank you for watching this Crypto Angles podcast number 23. 23. As I says, 23 equals 5. This is change. Change is happening on every level right now, and it's just so clear. So yes, remember, grab this calendar if you would like. It's available on Etsy. The link is down below. If you'd like a reading based off the visible sky, do let me know. It is currently 50% off until the end of summer, so that will end. The 50% off will end very soon. And yes, I'll see you in my next week's video for Crypto Angles podcast number 24. Number 24. So I'll see you anyway. Angel out. Bye.